Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Devin.
Someone pass me that water over there.
Hi, Devin. Yeah.
Hey, Cynthia, how you doing?
Good. So I know that you watched the Teofimo fight. I know that you also had a FaceTime with him. Talk about what you saw in that fight. Do you find him dangerous? Because I know eventually you're going to want to fight for this whole WBC discrepancy. And what did you guys talk about on this Zoom or the FaceTime call? You guys touched it?
You were going in and out, but you said, what did we talk about on FaceTime, me and Teofimo?
Yeah, you and Teofimo, and what did you think of this fight?
It was just a brief conversation. It wasn't nothing too much, but I'm not gonna say what exactly was said because we spoke like men, and it was after his fight, so I give him that type of that respect. What I can say is that we talked about is a fight happening. He said go in there and look good against Gamboa, and I told him congrats. So that's what I can.
Now, if you defend your WBC belt, I know that there's the Garcia and Campbell fight. The man that you should be fighting the mandatory on that, but Teofimo is a franchise. If you were able to choose, I know it's for the WBC supremacy, would you just be able to take that Teofimo fight if possible?
Well, I'm not interested in winning a franchise title. That's not something that I really want to do. But I am willing to fight for the undisputed for all the belts against Teofimo. But for the franchise is not really something that I'm looking forward to or anything like that.
All right, best of luck to you, Devin.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Reggie next, please.
Hey, how's it going, champ?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Hey, credit to you and your father with what you chose to do with your career, the route that you've taken. I see you guys working social media quite a bit and, to promote yourself and what's going on with you. Just what's your thoughts on, we continue to hear comments, negative comments about the app and nobody pays attention to it. But it's kind of ironic because so many people follow the sport Monday through Friday on social media, but then when it comes to you guys fighting, it's this disconnect. So what's your reaction to that?
At the end of the day, they can say what they want, but after Devin Haney fights, people know the results. They know what happened. They're tuning in and they're watching, whether they like it or not. They're gonna watch.
Love to you Saturday, champ.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Devin. Thank you for speaking to us today. How are you?
Sorry, just one thing from me on that. There'll be a lot more people watching Devin Haney fight live this Saturday than there was watching Leo Santa Cruz against Tank Davis fight live last week.
The question was actually in part to you, Eddie, so thanks.
Hi, Devin. Thank you for your time today. Just one question from me. You've spoken before about, this eventual move up to 140 pounds. I was just wondering how you're feeling at 135 at this present time and how many fights you feel you have left at 135 as well.
Honestly, my weight has been great this fight. Honestly, and I say this from really the bottom of my heart. If I had weight problems, I would tell you it's been hard, but this weight cut has been unbelievable. I think it was, just from a year being off during quarantine and, giving my body time to rest and recover. I feel great at 135 right now. It's so many big fights to be made. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Of course, I'm looking forward to going to 140 eventually, but it's so many big fights to be made at 135. I'm willing to stay here for a little bit longer.
Thank you for your time, Devin. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Al Jones, please.
Al Jones. Devin. Yeah, speaking. Devin, how you doing, man? Al Jones from In the Ring. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good. Now, looking forward this weekend, are you predicting any knockouts or what can we exactly expect from you to see?
I'm not really into predicting the knockouts because I feel like knockouts, when you go looking for them, it makes it much harder for them to come. But I do predict a very dominant performance. Of course, I hope for a knockout. I want to go in there and I want to entertain the fans and go in there and knock Gamboa out. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna give it my all. to entertain the people.
KO Artist Sports next, please.
Hey, Devin, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, man. Just quickly, Teofimo said, kept kind of repeating in his post-fight that he'd love to fight, the two-time email champion. He said, what'd you feel about that? And have you gotten anything from the WBC as far as, like what's going to happen with you two? Are they going to kind of make that fight happen? Or I don't know, have you heard anything regarding that situation?
I mean, at the end of the day, he kept saying that he was willing to fight me because he knows that, that he gains from fighting me. It's something there. He knows that he doesn't feel right, without fighting me for, the real undisputed, everything, all the belts. He knows that he's not undisputed without fighting me. So that's all that just proved. Whether he can say email, whatever, he didn't get the email.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Devin Haney next.
Here's Anthony. Hi, Devin. You okay? Just a quick question on the possible Teofimo Lopez fight. If that fight does get made, I mean, how do you see yourself winning that fight? Does he cause you any problems? I mean, you saw the win over Lomachenko. How do you see that fight going down? What kind of things would you be doing?
I mean, every fight, you go in there and you can watch, you can look, you can watch as much film as you want. But until you go in there and actually, go in there with the fighter, you never know what type of, problems they bring you, what type of style they have. So I wouldn't know, but I do know that I will be victorious against him. I'm not sure how the fight will play out as of right now, but I know that I see myself being victorious.
Good stuff. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Danny Flexen, have you got one, mate?
Hey, Devin, how you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. I wanted to ask you just a quick question about the Lopez-Lomachenko fight. In that Top Rank and ESPN both seem to market the fight as undisputed, which hardcore fans will have known wasn't entirely accurate, but I think casual fans may have been fooled into thinking it was for all four major belts. Yeah. What did you make of that, and were you at all offended by it?
Yeah, I knew that the casual, it was the casual fans who believed it. I knew that the real hardcore boxing fans knew that it wasn't a real undisputed fight. And that's pretty much what the WBC said as well, that, that it's not for an undisputed fight, it's for the franchise title. And at the end of the day, that is what it is. I knew that it really wasn't for an undisputed fight. So that's why you guys didn't see me flash on the internet or go out and try to prove anything, because after the fight, who did he mention? He mentioned the real WBC champ. So that's all that matters.
Thanks, Devin. Best of luck.
JR Bell, please.
All right there, Brother Devin. Like earlier this week, there was an interview through Ryan Garcia, and he said that he wasn't fancying a fight with you next if he defeats Luke Campbell. What are your feelings about that? And also the comments of him saying that you're part of the 4 horsemen of the lightweight division.
No problem. That's okay. If he feels like that, then so be it. Ryan Garcia has Instagram followers. He doesn't have a belt. He doesn't. I really don't gain anything but Instagram followers fighting him. So that's fine. I'll move forward and to the champions in the weight class.
I would just like to say as well that Devin is actually the only of these 4 horsemen that people tend to make excuses about not fighting. You listen to Ryan Garcia. No, I'm not. Why on earth? Why are you fighting Luke Campbell? Because the winner is mandatory for Devin Haney. Why on earth would you want to fight Luke Campbell to become mandatory to Devin Haney if you don't want to fight Devin Haney? Right? Bob Arum says, oh no, Haney's not in the mix. Haney's not in the mix. Bob Arum, I've never heard anyone talk so negatively about a fighter like Bob Arum talks about Devin Haney. I mean, he may just be bitter that he never got to work with him, and he knows he's the real deal. But Devin, you remember when we were at that press conference after the fight in Phoenix, and Bob was like, "No, we're not interested in Haney against, against Lomachenko, etc., etc." So if Ryan Garcia doesn't look at Devin Haney and think that's the fight for early 2021, he should pull out the Luke Campbell fight immediately, because he's probably going to get beat in that anyway.
Not gonna fight Devin Haney. My bad. Thanks, Eddie.
Marcos, please.
Hey, Devin. Good to see you, man.
Marcos was good.
I'm good, man. Tired, stressed over this election here, as everybody is in the country.
Yeah.
Hey, piggybacking off of the last question that you had, I know when Eddie was speaking earlier, he had mentioned that more or less if you win this fight, you will be the mandatory to the winner between Luke and Ryan. How confident?
It'll be my mandatory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that as well.
Yeah.
They'll be your mandatory. Clearly, he feels that Luke is probably going to win that fight. In his opinion, Eddie does. But if Ryan does win, how confident are you that that is going to be the next fight, or do you feel that that is not going to happen next, and it's going to kind of like maybe draw out a bit to drum in what promoters would say in the past, to marinate a fight like that?
On our side, we would love to fight, but on his side, of course, he said that he said that a fight with me bores him. He'd rather fight a guy with tank with power in both hands and some crazy nonsense that I never heard of. So it just shows you that he's not really willing to fight me, which is fine. We move on. A fight with Ryan Garcia is not the end of the world. Like I said, he has Instagram followers. I want to get belts.
Cool. Just one last question, Devin. This is your first experience being out there under these conditions. I'm just kind of curious, how have you been handling going through all the precautions and all the different things as compared to other fights before?
I'm making the best out of it. I'm just happy that I passed my COVID test. Like that was the whole camp. I was just thinking like, oh my God, like I hope I pass this test. Because it would suck if you did a whole training camp and you did everything and then you get finally here and then you don't pass. But I'm happy that my whole team passed, we all passed, and now I'm really ready to go. Now I know that the fight is on.
Well, you just keep your fingers crossed.
Right,
is negative.
Eddie would know.
Thank you, Devin. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ellie Selkback, please.
What's up, Devin? How you feeling?
Ellie, I'm feeling good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So Eddie said something very interesting a few minutes ago before you were live. He said that you chose the WBC route because you were confident you would beat Loma and you wanted that fight. So how would a fight with you and Loma look?
I mean, I'm not sure exactly how it would look. I know I will be victorious, and I've been saying it since, for a while now. But it's like, if Loma was the one to fight me now, it would be like, dude, you for a whole year, he acted like I didn't even exist. He wouldn't even say my name. He wouldn't even say anything. He wouldn't even think about me. So now it's like, oh, you want to fight now? It would be crazy to me. Now we're moving forward to Teofimo. The fight with Teofimo makes all the sense in the world for the real undisputed. And yeah.
Have you ever sparred Teofimo? Because I know you sparred Tank.
Yeah, me and Teofimo sparred twice.
What did you take from that experience?
Well, we sparred one time at just one gym in Vegas. We sparred twice, and it was a boxing lesson. That's all I can say. At the end of the day, I went in there and boxed his socks off.
Okay, thank you. Ames next, please.
Hey Devin, pleasure to meet you here for Boxing News TV. Keep up the good work on Real Devin Haney TV as well. Been enjoying your content. Devin, you stand as WBC
we're
champion.
We're filming right now as we speak. So.
Brilliant.
So.
Devin, you stand as WBC champion and a proud one at that. Do you feel the WBC franchise championship and status undermines your position as WBC champion?
Yeah, I do feel like the WBC. I feel like the franchise title is a belt made for ducking. That's what I honestly feel. I feel like it's a belt where you don't have any mandatories. You don't have to fight mandatory. So what's the point? What is the point of what do you get out of winning a franchise title?
Thanks, Devin.
No disrespect to WBC, but that's how I feel like the franchise belt is made for.
The crazy thing is that Top Rank requested that Vasily Lomachenko be elevated to the franchise champion, so he didn't have to fight his mandatory, which was Devin Haney, and he got beat in his next fight anyway. He should have just taken care of his mandatory obligation and fought Devin Haney. You know?
And then they did the same thing for Teofimo. Teofimo petitioned to get the franchise to fight Loma for the franchise title. So it's like, what's the point?
Sorry, guys, that's my fault there. I was just saying hello to Filip Hrgović. Let's have Crystal next, please.
Hi. What I wanted to ask you is, I liked what you said about rest and relaxation as far as, so maybe the shoulder, it helped you out. I think athletes, we all have the problem of never resting enough. But with the COVID, all of this, tell us a little bit about your camp. Your father, Bill, what does he have to say? And was Zab Judah, your godfather, anybody there? Or could you go into a little bit of depth about all your training?
Yeah, during quarantine, it just was, we were training at my house. Me and my dad, we built a gym at my house, and that was like the beginning. Because like in the middle of quarantine, it was when I was like fully recovered. I was able to train and everything like that. So then that's how we started training, and then we did that for a couple weeks or whatever. Then that's when we went to the boxing gym. My whole camp was in Vegas this time. Normally I go to Snack and go train with Victor Conte and the whole Snack family, but this time me and my dad did training all at home in Vegas.
Okay. And just his thoughts on Gamboa, who is an excellent fighter.
I think Gamboa is an excellent fighter, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. I think that, a lot of people are sleeping on him, that they forget that he went in there and he was Tank's toughest test. He put up a better fight than Leo Santa Cruz did, and everyone is praising Leo Santa Cruz. No disrespect to him. He did go in there and put up a good fight, but Gamboa put up a better fight with a torn Achilles. So you cannot go in there and think that Gamboa is a slouch or someone who's washed up. He went in there and he hurt him with a torn Achilles. So I cannot sleep on him. I know that he's going to come to fight.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the final question for Devin. Thanks so much, Devin, for doing this. The final question is from Eric Woodward.
Hey, what's up, Devin? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
This is Eric Woodward from ESPN, man. I got a chance to catch up with you and your dad yesterday.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about that shoulder injury, man. How long was that process of healing your shoulder and like before you were able to actually do any training? And like just that year off, man, can you go into that? Like just how much did that motivate you that year off?
I want to say about maybe like 4 to 5 months of just like of nothing, of doing nothing, just like probably maybe like run from time to time. Because at first I couldn't even run because they were saying like, you can't run with your shoulder like that. But I needed it, honestly. I was fighting so much. I was training so hard. I'm a workhorse and I never stopped. So I felt like I finally, needed the break, and it gave me time to rest and recover. And now I'm here and I'm able to put my all into this fight because I know that I had time to recover, I had time to rest, I had time to have fun, I had time to, do other things. And so now this camp, I was able to give my all and know that, that I put my all into it, and I feel great. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Devin. Devin's got to move next door and do some stuff with the zone.
Thank you.